広げて優勝への
Confirm that Press in the Zoom room can hear us. Check, check. Thank you. Welcome to the Masters Reykjavik Lower Bracket Finals Press Conference. Today we are joined by ZETA Division. We will now open the floor to questions from remote media. Please make sure to answer your question to one specific player and use the Zoom hand raise feature when you would like to ask a question. We will then call on you. At this point, the floor is open for questions.
皆様、本日は、マスターズレイキャビックローワーファイナルズの、プレスカンファレンスにお集まりいただきありがとうございます。本日はゼータディビジョンの皆様に、参加いただき、これから、ご質問いただけます。ご質問がある場合は、お一人様、一つ、質問一つまでで、特定のプレイヤーに対しての質問とさせていただければと思います。質問がある方はZoom の手を挙げる機能によって、手を挙げていただき、こちらから指名した方から、質問をお願いいたします。
eSports World, Inokawa.
e スポーツワールドの井ノ川です。マスターズ、長い戦いお疲れ様でした。今回ちょっと配信と被ってしまうんですけれども、ラズ選手に質問があります。はい、今回、プティック戦初めての NA 地域ということで、戦ってみた率直な感想と、あと配信でちょっと世界の壁を感じたというのをおっしゃってましたけれども、今言える範囲でどの辺に壁を感じたのかっていうのをお聞かせください。
このまま大丈夫ですか？
はい。
そうですね、世界にというか、オプティック戦で、オプティックが本当にうまくて、壁を感じました。はい。自分たちの戦い方の、さらに、オプティックが自分たちの戦い方を貫きつつ、さらにそこから、僕たちの戦い方に合わせて、さらに、その上の行く戦い方をしてきてて、で、プラスでもう細かいところの打ち合いとか、その細かい連携とか、スキルの合わせとか、本当にうまくて、これは強いなって思いました。
ありがとうございます。
So, being first time facing against an A team against OpTic, they were obviously a very good team. Not only that, they were able to keep their OpTic style of gameplay, they were able to fine-tune to the Zeta Division play style and adapt within the match. So we had a hard time as they were very good on their skill combinations and just the timing of their attacks, and everything was fine-tuned.
Game Watch.
はい。もちろん、清と申します。聞こえておりますでしょうか？
聞こえてます。
ありがとうございます。まずはお疲れ様でした。ベスト3おめでとうございます。代表としてラズ選手にお伺いしたいんですけど、第3マップに移るインターバル中、5分間ほどお時間あったと思うんですけど、チームの中でどのような会話が行われていましたでしょうか？
そうですね、2マップ勝てそうというか、すごく、なんて言うんだろうな。取りたかったマップを2連続で落としてしまって、このまま行っていいのかなとか、何か変えた方がいいのかなとか、考えつつ、自分たちのことをやるしかないかなということで、いつもと同じ感じで、その対策をしっかりみんなで考えて、クイーンのないように全員でぶつかっていこうっていう感じの話だったかなと思います。
So going from the second map to the third map, during the break that we had, we talked about our strategy. The first two maps that we had lost, these were the maps we really wanted to win. So during this time, we talked about whether we should keep going with our strategy that we had originally planned, and but in the end, we said that we should just keep going and just make sure to play with no regret.
ありがとうございます。
Game Spark.
はい、お疲れ様でした。ラズ選手にお伺いしたいんですけれども、オプティックに対する事前の研究と実際に戦ってみての印象の違いみたいなものはありましたでしょうか？
割と実際にやってみないとどういう印象なのかっていうのは分からないのが普通なのかなとは思うんですけど、結構しっかり仕入れた情報と、実際の試合で相手の動き方を照らし合わせつつどんな感じなのかなっていうのを様子見しながらやってたけど、結構最初の方は予想通りだったけど、向こうがちょいちょいうまく変えてきて、自分たちがどこを対策してるのかを結構察したのかなっていうのは感じましたね。でそこから自分たちが対策している戦い方のさらに上からさらに上を取れる戦い方に変えてきたなっていうのは感じましたね。
ありがとうございます。
So the question was whether the Zeta Division preparation for OpTic Pregame analysis was as expected in the game. The pregame analysis was as expected for the first couple of rounds, but within the game, I think OpTic did a very great job in terms of adjusting to. They sensed what Zeta Division had prepared for towards the match, and they were able to adjust just beyond the expectation of Zeta Division.
Next question from Encount Katamura.
お疲れ様でした。エンカウントの片村と申します。代表としてラズ選手にお伺いしたいんですけれども、今回実際にオプティクスと戦って、今後どのようにしてさらに鍛錬を積んでいこうというふうに、感じたことがあれば、お聞かせ願えればと思います。
そうだな、戦い方もしっかり見直しつつ、自分たちに、今回いろんな戦い方を、実際体験できて、自分たちがやるものもそうですし、自分たちが受ける戦い方も、本当に日本にいるときとは比べ物にならないほどの量をたくさん感じてきたので、どういう戦い方で今後行こうかっていう調整とかと、あと細かいところ、少人数戦とかもっと強くなりたいなと思いますね。そこはしっかり強化したいと思います。実戦とかでも結構ボコボコに同じ感じでいかれちゃってたところがあったので、そうですね。はい。
ありがとうございます。
So the main takeaway from the optics match is that we were able to experience a lot of different variations of the play styles, both in terms of execution and in receiving the strategies. We had some issues with the small group ups, and this was the same issue that we encountered for G2. So we'd like to fix it and take away the learnings into the next regionals.
Caillou?
お疲れ様です。クロー選手にお伺いします。これまでゼータディビジョンの、試合を拝見していると、ショットガンだとかの採用が多い、すごく有効に活用されているなという印象だったんですが、今回オプティック戦だとあまりそういった戦術を採用されてないのかなという感じがしたんですけども、今回どういった理由でそういうことになったのかというのをお伺いしたいです。
ショットガン、ジャッジとかショーティーがすごく強い場所で、強いタイミングで使うっていうのが、自分たちの戦い方なんですけど、今回は、そんなにその機会がなかったのかなという感じで、なんか戦略的に使わなかったとかっていうのはないですね。
ありがとうございます。
So the Zeta Division's utilization of shotgun the reason the Zeta Division has avoided shotgun wasn't for any strategy reasons this time. It was just the timing and the effectiveness, both with consideration of the map and the opponent's strategy. We didn't quite find any right timing for use of shotguns, so we just didn't use it.
Esports World?
再び井ノ川です。今度は XQ コーチに質問があります。バロラントのシーンはもうどんどん戦略とかが高度になってきて、大会とかでももうメンタルとか体力面とか頭脳面とかいろんなことが必要になってくると思います。で、今後、このまた世界大会に向けてコーチとしてどのように進めていくべきだと思いますか？
今大会僕たちはその戦い方だったりとかメンタル面ではすごく優れてたと思いますし、最後のこのオプティック戦に関してはそうですね、先ほどの回答でもおっしゃってたんですけど、自分たちが予想していたものよりさらにオプティック側が上回ってきたりっていうので逃した勝利なのかなと思っているので、今後そうですね、戦略的な幅を広げられるといいなと思っています。
ありがとうございます。
I believe that Zeta Division as a team proved that we have strong mentality and strategy, variations of strategy within this tournament, but it's just that OpTic had gone beyond us in both of that.
GameSpark?
ゲームスパークの八尾と申します。今回はお疲れ様でした。ラズ選手にお伺いしたいんですけども、2マッチ目は注目のチェンバー対決にもなったイェイ選手への印象をお聞かせください。
お疲れ様でした。ありがとうございます。そうだな。本当に安定して強いなっていうのは感じたんですけど、僕自身が大会中にこの人強いなとかあんまり思わないタイプなので、なんかあんまり言葉が出てこないです。はい、でも本当に安定しててすごく丁寧にオペレーター当ててくる選手だなというのは感じました。
ありがとうございます。
I thought Ye as a player, he's a very balanced player. But as a player myself, I don't really within the matches I don't really feel like this player's really strong or anything like that. So I thought he was just a good player, but nothing more than that.
Caillou?
はい、シュガーゼロ選手にお聞きします。今回オフラインでの経験というのは初の ものになると思うんですけども、それでもチームとしても、また個人としてもすごく注目を浴びたのかなと思うんですけども、大会全体を振り返っていかがでしたでしょうか。
まあ、初めてなりには頑張れたのかなっていうのもあるんですけど、やっぱり悔しいですね。まだまだ成長できるなっていうのは思ってるので、ステージ2頑張りたいと思います。
ありがとうございます。
It's my first offline LAN tournament for Valorant, and the fact that we've come this far and we couldn't reach the top, I do have regrets for it, but I feel like I have more room to grow in the future, so looking forward to that.
Declan McLaughlin from DeSerto.
Hi, my question is for XQQ. I was just wondering what's the first thing that he did after leaving the coaches area after the team lost that map 3.
こちらの質問は XQQ コーチへの質問です。本日、3つ目のマップが終わって、敗北となってしまったときに、最初に、チームに駆け寄ったときに、何をしたか教えてください。
そうですね。僕はもう本当に僕もチームもまだまだこんなもんじゃなくて優勝を目指してやろうっていう気持ちはずっとあって、もう終わる最後の1ラウンドまでそう思ってたと思うんですけど、終わってからはもう本当にここまで休みもなくプレーし続けて頑張ってきたみんなに対して本当にお疲れ様っていう言葉をかけてました。
So until the very last round of the matches, myself and the teammates, we all knew and we all were feeling that we can win this tournament. So we were holding on to that, but as soon as it was over, we knew that it was over. All I could say was thank you to all the teammates for the hard work, and because they had no rest up until this point, so I just went up to them and said thank you for the great work.
Diego from VLR.
Yeah, I've got a question for, anyone that wants to answer. Regarding Haven, you guys had a really good start, but then OpTic timed out and, they tightened up the result and you ended up losing. So what changes do you think, did you notice that allowed for that to happen and eventually led to your loss?
こちらの質問はどなたにでも回答いただければと思います。平分では、最初、とても好調な滑り出しだったと思うんですが、途中でのオプティックのタイムアウトから、若干雲行きが怪しくなり、最終的には敗北となってしまいました。このタイムアウトによって、具体的に何が変わったのか、何が敗因だったのかというところについて教えてください。
僕答えます。攻め側のやつだと思うんですけど、本当に僕たち滑り出しよく滑れてたんですけど、そうですね、向こうのオプティック側のタイムアウトによってちょっとこっちの攻めの方針が、ちょっと全体の意思統一がずれてしまって、本来であればみんなで決めたことをやろうっていうのがちょっとずれて、そこからオプティックが、その隙を狙って崩されてしまったのかなと思います。
So I believe it was in the attack side for the Zeta division. Within the timeout that we took, we could not sync on the strategies that we were going to be taking, and therefore, as a team, our movements were not aligned, unified. So I believe that's one of the reasons that we were losing after the timeout.
Diogo, do you have any more questions?
Yeah, I have two more if no one wants to chime in.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you guys lost on Fracture today and it was actually your first loss ever. So what aspects of OpTic's play do you think led to that result? And were you able to properly mentally reset after losing it?
フラクチャーでは本日、初めての、敗北となりました。オプティックがこのフラクチャーで、他のチームと比べてうまく、プレーしていたところっていうのがどういうところだったのか、また、この敗北の後に、メンタル的に、うまくチームとして対応できたのかについて教えてください。
これ僕ですか？他のチームに比べてフラクチャーにおいての無敵の構成はかなりこう各個人が使えるスキルが多く、それによってエリア取りだったりとか戦い方が複雑になっているのが、彼らの強みだったと思います。そしてそうですね、本当に僕たちの守り方や攻め方をしっかり研究してそれに刺さるような対策、本当に今まで見たことないような戦い方をしてきたので、そこがめちゃくちゃうまかったです。そして悔しいですね。で、これ挟みます。
挟んでいいですか? So OpTic, they have the team comps that allows a lot of freedom in the individual skill sets and variations to make the strategy very complex. So, and also they had well prepared for our strategy for Fracture, and they had adapted, and that led to their movement in a strategy that we had never seen from other teams before.
Declan?
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
フラクチャーの負けの後、メンタル的には僕らは本当にやるしかないという気持ちで、ビオ5なんであと1マップ取られたら負けっていうのをしっかり確認して、バインドをしっかり準備してきたので、それに合わせて戦いましたが届きませんでした。
In terms of mental preparation for the last map, because it was the last map, we knew that we couldn't lose this map, but again, we felt like we were prepared for bind, so we did our best, but we didn't reach the expectation.
Declan?
Right, this is for XQQ again. When you exited Masters Berlin, you said that you felt hopeless and regretful. I was just wondering how you feel now after leaving Iceland at this point in the tournament.
マスターズベルリンの時に、おっしゃっていたのが、これ XQQ コーチに対して、マスターズベルリンの時に、おっしゃっていたのが、もう希望もなく、今はもう後悔しかないというふうにおっしゃっていたと思いますが、今回、アイスランドを離れる、今のお気持ちはどんな気持ちでしょうか？
まずチーム、本当にチームメイト5人、そしてアナリスト1人、コーチ1人、彼ら日本の仕事ぶりは本当誇りに思いますし、ここまで連れてきてくれたことにすごく感謝します。でも今回は本当自分のこの特にオプティック戦に関しては自分の仕事ぶりっていうのはすごくもっとできるものがあったんじゃないかなと後悔します。
I really want to thank the team and analyst and coach who had brought me here to this stage today, because everybody did such a great job in the tournament this time. But in terms of the match against OpTic, I feel like as a coach, I could have done a lot more to prepare.
Okay, and we have a few more questions from Japan. We'll go back to you, Inokawa, from Esports World.
井ノ川です。デップ選手かテン選手どちらでもいいのでお答えください。今回負けてしまいましたが、マスターズを通して日本のファンがものすごい感動したり、笑ったりとか怒ったりとかいろんな感情をぶつけられたと思います。ファンに向けて一言と今後に向けての一言お願いします。
とりあえずベスト3ということで、皆さん、日本は結構弱いっていうイメージ持たれててあんまり期待はされてなかったとは思うんですけど、ここまで、皆さん信じて応援してくれてありがとうございますで、今回マスターズ1、もういっぱい多分僕たちが一番対戦を行ったんですね、全チームの中で。で、 まあ、本当にいろいろ経験できたと思うんで、まあ、マスターズ2はもっといいチームになってると思います。
ありがとうございます。
So we were able to come to the top 3 teams of the in the world for this tournament, and I just want to say thank you to all the fans because they had, although we had such low expectation for as a Japanese region, they had believed in us and kept the support until the very last minute. For Masters 1, we are the most we are the team who has played the most maps out of all the competing teams. So we believe that we have a lot of experience gained for this tournament, and we'd like to bring that. We'd like to grow from it and learn from it and prepare for next Masters.
Caillou?
はい。レップ選手にお伺いします。これからまたチャレンジャーズなどが始まって言いますが、国内シーン、他のチームに対して期待すること、またご自身の意気込みをお願いします。
期待、他のチームですか？日本の。
はい。
期待、
そうだな。その今回の活躍を見てということで、大丈夫です。お願いします。
そうですね、他のチームへの期待、まあなんか、すごい上から目線で、ちょっと、あれな感じなんですけど、そうですね、まあ、本当に僕らが今まで大会を見ながら、いろんなことを学んできたように、僕たちのこのベスト3までの道のりを見て、どうプレーするのがいいのかとか、まあ、今回僕らの敗因も含めて全て吸収して国内シーンの成長につなげてくれたら僕らにとっても国内シーンにとってもいいのかなと思ってます。
ありがとうございます。
So to the other competing teams in the Japanese challengers coming up, we don't mean it to look down on them, but we just want to say that from looking at our journey up to the top 3, I hope that all the teams in the Japanese region can learn from the plays that we had done in the tournament and grow as the region, so we can compete better for the next Masters.
And last question from Diego.
So despite your guys, this is a question for everyone, but despite your guys' loss today, you've done what no Japanese team has ever done in the history of tactical FPS. So how prideful do you walk away from this tournament?
こちらどなたにお答えいただいても大丈夫です。本日、負けとなってしまいましたが、日本の、タクティカルシューターのジャンルでは、本当に歴史的な快挙となる、結果を残すことができました。今回、帰る、日本に帰国するにあたって、今どのようなお気持ちでしょうか。
そうですね、世界大会で、日本のチームが、前線できて、ずっと弱いと言われてきてた日本リージョンが本当に成長してるんだよっていうのを世界に見せれてすごい良かったなって思ってるんですけど、まあ大会結果だけ見ればベスト3まで来たね、よくやったねってなるかもしれないんですけど、オプティック戦で負けた悔しいの気持ちが本当に強くて、マスターズ2で頑張って優勝目指したいなっていう気持ちになってます。
So coming, the result that we had shown on this tournament is top 3 in the world, and I'm really happy to say that we've proved everybody's expectation wrong, thinking that Japan is a weak region, and we had grown so much as a region to prove this. but again, we had such a big loss against OpTic, and there was such a big gap in the gameplay. There was a lot of homework to be done, and we'd like to make sure to have that fixed, and that we can win the whole tournament towards Masters 2.
ZETA Division, thank you so much for taking your time to speak with us today. We will return with OpTic Gaming in a few minutes.
本日はお集まりいただきありがとうございました。以上で終わりとなります。
ありがとうございました。お疲れ様でした。
お疲れ様です。
Welcome to the Masters Reykjavik Lower Bracket Finals Press Conference. Today we are joined by OpTic Gaming. We will now open the floor to questions from remote media. Please use the Zoom hand raise feature if you would like to ask a question, and make sure to focus a question on a single player. Does anybody have any questions for OpTic Gaming? Declan from Deserta.
Yeah, this is for Chet. I was just wondering if that game was pretty much all the game plan for you guys from what you prepared going into it.
I would say a lot of our game plan did work, but also we got a lot of heroics from our controller, Jimmy. So shout out to him. Otherwise, we would have probably lost the first map at least.
Diego?
Going kind of off of what Chet said there, I've got a question for Marv. The first half didn't exactly go your way, but you kind of blew everyone out of the water in the second half, and it seemed like you were kind of everywhere. So what do you think allowed you to basically shut down ZETA the way you did?
I mean, my team gave me time to really understand how they were moving around the map, and I think late game, like after the halftime, I kind of understood how they were moving around the map and where to find my timings and how to win these rounds. So yeah, it was definitely a team effort. Definitely, I had a lot of kills, but yeah, I kind of just knew what was going on at all times.
Luke Edwards?
Hey guys, congrats on the win. This is for anyone who wants to take this question. Does it feel different heading into finals tomorrow compared to Masters Berlin, having had that grand finals experience under your belt already?
Feels like every tournament feels different, so it doesn't really feel similar at all. We definitely had a different path towards this finals, so it just feels different, and we're just going to treat it like any other scrim or game.
Feels nice to play teams that aren't just North American teams, for sure. I would say that was the biggest difference from the last time we made the grand final to now, is we're able to play other regions, so that's pretty nice.
Diego?
Yeah, so still on Haven, you guys had a rough start to the map, but you timed out at 5-0 and things seemed to shape up for you guys, and then you later won the map. So what did you discuss during that first pause that led you to win the map, basically?
During the pause, usually I just call something that we already discussed from our game plan, so I don't remember exactly what I said, but we just did one of our set things that we said, and I guess it just helped us win a couple rounds.
Diego, do you have any more questions?
Yeah, just one more.
Go ahead.
So you won the defensive side on Fracture 7-5, but on the attack side, you turned it up to 11, and you didn't even lose a single round. So I'm just kind of looking to know what allowed you to completely outclass ZETA on that attacking side.
I feel like teams, even though they watch our Fracture games, I feel like they're still not accustomed to playing against a Neon and the side hits we do with her. So I feel like that plays a big part in it, as well as the early pressure with her ability to get past utility.
Declan?
Yeah, this is for FNS. Coming from CS, where we don't really see a lot of Asian teams get this far into big LAN tournaments, I was just wondering for you, how does it feel to see a lot of diverse teams at this point in the tournament in Valorant's life cycle?
It's fun. Like I said, I enjoy playing other regions. I like that other regions are as good as they are because it pushes us to get better as a team. In North America, I was just telling one of my teammates, I was telling Vic, that like it feels like sometimes a lot of these North American teams, not all of them, but some of them have like not as many layers as, you know, these other teams do, and we haven't run into a lot of the plays that these people make from different regions. You know, there were plays that Loud was making yesterday, there were plays that ZETA was making today that I haven't seen in the North American region. So just to familiarize ourselves with it, it's definitely nice for us to gain that experience. Even though we're an experienced team and I'm an experienced in-game leader, it's still, you're always learning something in this game.
Luke?
I've got a question for FNS. What are you going to do differently against Loud this time?
think we'll focus more on our game than worry so much about how they play. I think we kind of fall into that trap sometimes. I personally, as an in-game leader, sometimes fall into that trap where we will study them and we'll focus a lot on what they do. I just feel like we have a very good game plan and we have a very good fundamental game as is, so we're definitely going to do that differently. I think we'll definitely focus just more on ourselves and what we need to do to win rounds and adapt on the fly more so than worry so much about being so structured heading into the game itself.
Any more questions for OpTic Gaming? Diego?
Yeah, just one more question for anyone that wants to answer. Was Zeta's lower bracket run this far a concern for you guys at all?
I mean, I did have like some concern since they beat like a lot of European teams, like Liquid and Fnatic, I think. But when they lost to G2, I knew they had some cracks at least, and specifically on Bind, that map that they lost to G2 really like helped me understand how they play that map on the T side specifically.
Any more questions for OpTic Gaming? OpTic, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today, and we'll return tomorrow with the 2 teams from the finals.